Cannabis is one of the important remedies where the causation is adjustment to the new circumstances in life. This is like a situation where they have to leave their hometown and migrate to another city or country, which requires a lot of adjustment in an unfamiliar environment. Another situation is when somebody gets married and has to shift to another place or home. In a similar situation, if there are emotional disturbances with brooding and anger, we can think of natramur. If there are emotional disturbances, weeping, better by consolation, we can think of pulsatilla. And if there is sighing with a lot of upset and emotional disturbance, we can think of ignatia. It is also a very important remedy where there is a history of drug abuse, or when the parents are or were drug addicts. The central core of this remedy can be understood by just one word: holiday. On consuming cannabis, the narcotic, one loses control over himself completely, and then the overwhelming desire is to enjoy to the fullest extent. Freak out is the right word. This is the main feeling in Cannabis Indica. It is a desire to go on a holiday and enjoy. Why do we have holidays? Holidays are necessary as a break from routine. After working continuously for some time, we always feel a need to take a break from this routine. Cannabis is a remedy which is in a continuous state of holiday. Day or night, work or no work, business or no business, they always want to be in a state of holiday. It is a medicine where the patient always desires recreation. They crave for light, +3, and feel very comfortable in open air. The expression of happiness and contentment is clearly visible in their eyes. They remain in a state of exhilaration even when talking to the physician. The pain and suffering is not obvious on their faces, even in the worst of circumstances. It is very easy to understand this remedy in children. They are always happy, active, and easily mix with others. They look happy and contented. They laugh during conversation at every sentence, and in fact they laugh a lot. The laughter is spontaneous and uncontrollable. They behave as if they are living in another world full of happiness. It's a pleasure to watch this child happy and enjoying every moment of life. There is no discontentment or dissatisfaction during the early phase of life. They are extravagant and carefree during this age. As these children grow, they can make verses or write songs. Their writing evolves as they grow, and they are able to create beautiful songs and express the emotion verse by verse, poem by poem. Sometimes they even converse in the form of verses. During adolescence and adulthood, the quality of communicating in verses and songs continues. Cannabis Indica is a remedy for out-of-body experiences. They always crave for out-of-the-body experiences, or they are lost in delicious thoughts. As they grow further, they develop a dual-natured state. They can be very sweet and exhilarated at one moment, and very disturbed, desperate, and suspicious at the next moment. They feel that their self is being controlled by another self. During the state of mania, they are very cheerful, gay, and mirthful. They hug and caress everybody. They close their eyes as if they are in deep meditation, or as if they are in a state of trance. Cannabis Indica stimulates the higher faculties and the imagination to a remarkable degree, without any marked stimulation of the lower animal instinct. All the inhibition, restriction, and barriers employed by the conscious and subconscious mind are broken down, and there's a feeling of liberation. and a feeling of losing control over the self, over time and space. The feeling is of a free bird flying in the open sky. A need to experience new things, new aspects, and to create a new world where they would be prepared to experiment on many things in different ways. They would love to use new colors, new objects, new methods, and new techniques in their profession, all distinct from the beaten path. In spite of inhibition being lost, the animal instincts like sex, violence, destruction, etc. do not get activated in cannabis. They remain predominantly in the soric and tubercular phase. It is one of the important remedies for behavior disorders in children. These children are loquacious and annoying. They are always in a hurry and they feel that time passes too slowly. They get bored very easily and want new clothes, new things, new types of food very fast. Old things do not give them happiness anymore, and the only thing which is constant with them is change. This child, who is normally happy and contented, due to the environmental stress, becomes capricious and discontented. And when he is discontented, we might wonder whether it is the same person who was happy and satisfied. Like platina, palladium, and gratiola, haughtiness is very well marked in cannabis. This is expressed in the delusions, especially during the phase of exhilaration. He feels that he is a superhuman, that he is an emperor, that he is handsome, that he is Jesus Christ or God, or that she is a beauty queen, she is Virgin Mary, or that she has the power to control everything in the world. They feel as if paths were enlarged, or as if objects were too big, or as if the distances were too long. They make big and gigantic plans, but they find it difficult to put them into practice. Theorizing is very marked. They make many far-fetched connections. They say that the moon has pits and the earth has no pits, so the moon could not have originated from the earth. Or they make some hypothesis which has no scientific or logical basis. They start feeling that they have infinite knowledge. They pretend and behave as if they know everything. The phase of exhilaration can continue into becoming insanity or losing reason. They have a fear of dark and impending death. During the phase of exhilaration, they are very active, always hurried, and feel that everybody must hurry as well. It is a very important remedy where disturbance is seen in all the four planes, that is, time, distance, space, and size. At the level of time, there is an exaggeration of duration. Time always passes slowly. Few seconds seem like ages. The patient always feels bored with things very easily. He gets bored very easily with whatever work he has in hand. They feel better when they are occupied. The judgment of distance is over-exaggerated. The confusion is so deep that they lose their way in a well-known street. Even a small distance appears to be miles and miles long, and a person makes an attempt to jump over a small step. The concept of space is totally lost, and he starts feeling that he can connect himself with all the objects of the universe, and that he can communicate with them. He also has a feeling that his right side is enlarged. His one leg is too long, as if his clothes are torn off, as if he is double, or as if his body is divided into two parts. When they talk, they are hunting for words and they are fumbling with words. They do not know what to write, or they cannot finish a sentence. In the phase of confusion, the patient has many thoughts which crowd upon the mind. They lose their own identity. Things seem unreal. It is a remedy for a child or adult who falls on the floor and does not understand what they are doing. Because of fixity, one can get many persistent thoughts which are difficult to remove and which take away a lot of time and energy. Just as anacardium has two wills, cannabis indica has two trains of thought, and both these intrude and crowd around each other. The negative phase of cannabis is as marked as the positive phase. They have fixed ideas and concentration is very difficult. They do not have any desire to work. Aggravation, coffee, morning, liquor, tobacco, lying on right side. Amelioration, from fresh air, cold water, rest, anxiety. Epilepsy, delirium, behavior disorders, chronic fatigue symptoms. It becomes one of the important remedies for schizophrenia, maniacal depression, and alternating states. And also is a remedy for maniacs who always remain in an exhilarated state day and night. It is also an important remedy for sleeplessness because of emotional excitement. The grinding of teeth and worm infestation are the key physical concomitants in cannabis. The patients grind their teeth the whole night through, and the person next to them finds it impossible to sleep.